Hi, my name is Adele and I'm a certified clinical trauma counsellor. I wanted to make today's video in my pandemic series about self-regulation and self-soothing. It's really a topic that we are finding that is incredibly important with people that are really struggling with mental health during the pandemic. So, it is absolutely staggering how many people are struggling right now. I literally get inundated with messages and phone calls from people every week. And, we're seeing social isolation, we're seeing loneliness, and particularly from the segment of the population I'm the most concerned about is anyone over the age of 70. It's just an influx of people that are really, really struggling. They've been isolated from their grandchildren, from their kids. They're feeling, what's the point of anything? They've lost their purpose of life. And, a lot of people that they know might have, passed away due to COVID, and there's just a lot of that happening. But it goes all the way through in the spectrum to even mums that are really struggling to cope with all the stress and the strain of the homeschooling and, just marriages that are buckling under pressure. So self-soothing and self-regulation are skills that you have to develop so that you can cope with unexpected things that happen in a more positive and productive way. Now, it's a spectrum. When you first locate yourself in a place where you are really struggling emotionally, you're going to be in that place of victim, okay? This is happening to me. This pandemic is occurring to me in my world, right? I didn't want this. I don't like this. And we are going to be in the victim mindset. You've got to kind of hit a little bit of rock bottom where you've had enough of being in that space so you can start to move into survivor mindset. So if you don't want to kind of wait until you've hit rock bottom, you can lift the bottom up so that you hit it sooner. And ultimately that sooner moment is you going, I'm done. I've had enough of this. I want to get out of this. I don't want to suffer anymore. I'm done with suffering. I've had enough of suffering. I don't need to suffer anymore. Let's start solutioning and surviving. Solutioning leads you into surviving of what has happened, okay? Surviving basically means you start to make some plans. You start to do things to get yourself out of that victim mind space. Then you move into learning, okay? Learning is where you begin to heal. If you are in the learning zone, the growth zone, that's where healing begins to happen, and you move then through that phase into victor. Victor is where you feel empowered, you feel like you're back in your own mojo and you're back in yourself again. Learning is about learning all the skills and the things that you can do to move forward in an even better way, okay? Learning gets blocked by two things. Firstly, learning resistance and learning defiance. Learning resistance is when we're in denial by the whole situation. Don't like it, it's not really happening, this pandemic isn't really a thing, COVID's just a flu. Yeah, I don't know what the big deal is, the government, everyone, we should just ignore them. Might sound familiar, right? This is what a lot of conspiracy theorists are stuck with, is that zone. That zone of just total denial of where we're at and refusal to kind of like look at it. That's not going to help you with your own mental health. So if you're really struggling with mental health, put the conspiracy theories and all that stuff away. Focus on accepting, radical acceptance of the situation and the way that it is. The next part is if you're not in learning resistance, you might be in learning defiance. That's where it's happened. You know that it's happened, but you refuse to adjust. You refuse to do anything other than remain in your victim mentality. So you're angry, you're outraged, and you are looking for someone to save you and make things better. At the end of the day, self-regulation and self-soothing means that you have to parent yourself. You have to self-soothe, right? You can't wait for everyone else out there to do things. In a conversation I literally just had with someone in Florida, she was talking about, there's no one here. I tell them I need support and then they don't phone me. Darling, everyone in the world is struggling right now. Everyone is barely able to keep themselves together. Everyone is doing the best that they can to keep their mental health together. They are not there for you because they're just trying to hold themselves together. So stop taking it personally if the world out there is not there to rescue you. You have got to rescue yourself. You have to get yourself out of victim into survivor, into learner, healer, and victor. And you can do that by learning some techniques and moving forward and coaching yourself, okay? So give up the learning resistance and the learning defiance. Radically accept we are where we are. We don't have a time machine. We can't reverse the clock. This is the situation that we're in. It sucks, but we now need to move forward. No one's coming to save us. We need to save ourselves. And start to orientate your brain around solutions, okay? Now, if you're really struggling with your mental health, move the solutioning into 30-minute segments of your day. That's what I'm doing with the most depressed, suicidal people. We literally have 30-minute segments of their day. We are micromanaging behavioral activation, getting them moving, doing things. And what you want to be doing are things that are within your control. We cannot control a global pandemic. We cannot control countries in lockdown, vaccines. We can't control what's going on. We can't control who's going to live, who's going to die. When can we see our grandchildren, our children again? When are we all going to be free again? When can we go on holiday again? We can't control these things. What we can control is these steps here. And the more emotional you are, the more you're struggling, hyper routine. Get hyper routined with your day. Manage it in 30-minute segments. Okay? Literally close segments. This 30 minutes, this is what I'm going to be doing. This 30 minutes, this is what I'm going to be doing. You want to focus on your environment. Get your environment sorted. Tidy those cupboards. Sort out your wardrobes. Clearing, cleaning, organizing. This stuff is very stabilizing when you are feeling out of control in your life. Focus on the areas where you can develop certainty. Areas that are within your control. Work that you can control the beginning, middle, and ending of. Okay? Things you can make with your hands. Things that are tangible. Gardening, baking, sorting, filing, environment, clearing, organizing, action. Okay? 30-minute segments like that. That's point number 1. Point number 2, get yourself into a place where you realize the cavalry ain't coming. I've got to sort out my own emotional regulation. You can regulate your emotions by finding 100 pleasurable activities, right? I've got a fantastic list in our dialectical behavioral therapy where there's a beautiful list of ideas, things that you can do to soothe yourself. Just message my team and we will send you that list. No worries at all. But start to Google, go onto Pinterest, find things to do, self-soothing activities. There's millions of things out there that you can do that are within your control. But basically, it's things that you can do that make you feel better. And one person that I was speaking to yesterday, she's 76, she's super isolated, she's freaking out, she's starting to worry herself. You know, I said to her, do you know in your environment, I've had 4 conversations with people in that same environment, within your city. Contact that old age home, reach out to those people and say, hey, I'm lonely. Is there anyone there that's lonely too? Let's all have a chat together. You know, I know it's awkward and cringy to make friends with brand new people that you don't know, but it's something, right? You can reach out, you can connect, you can have chats with people, you can share, you can support other people that are in the same position as you. If you are stuck and isolated from your family and you can't reach them and get back to them, organize remote catch-ups with them. Make the effort. Don't sit there in a heap waiting for the cavalry to come. Get proactive, get solution focused. What can I do? Let's have an online Scrabble game all together. Let's play chess all together. Let's do something that we can control. Okay? Next thing is to realize that from a self-regulation perspective, we can really focus on our body. Okay? 2 techniques. One is mindfulness. Mindfulness is where we're watching the thoughts that are in our mind and you don't allow the thoughts to hijack you. You see the thoughts coming in like a cloud that passes through the sky and leaves the end of your sky. So rather than engaging with that emotion and that thought as if it's you, chat to it, parent yourself through it, coach yourself through it. Say, I'm not going to engage with this right now. Right now, I'm focusing on the things that I can control, which are these 30-minute segments. Because your thoughts keep trying to hijack you. They pull and yank you in a negative direction. And if you engage with them, they will yank you right into the dark. It's like getting sucked into quicksand. You don't have time for that. Start getting action orientated and out of that zone. The next thing is you can do some trauma release exercises. One simple one that is really cool from David Baselli's TRE is you lie on the floor with your knees up. Okay, so you lie flat on the floor, back down, knees are up, and you shake. You allow your body to just shake, 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 shake. This releases anxiety from the body, okay? Do the shaking exercise, like pretend like you're a piece of bacon in the frying pan. Shake, 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 get it all out of you. Shaking is very good for us if you're feeling very anxious and kind of wound up, okay? Shake. Next thing, relax. Do your Kegel exercises in the reverse. In other words, stop holding in your pelvic floor. Release your pelvic floor. Imagine that you're pouring pancake batter in a pan and all of your pelvic muscles are just releasing and relaxing. What they have studied with the vagus system, if you read Bessel van der Kolk's The Body Keeps the Score, they talk about how the polyvagal system really influences and triggers our most catastrophic thinking. It is impossible to hold catastrophic thoughts inside a relaxed muscle body. So if you can keep your pelvis in particular relaxed and release all your pelvic floor muscles as often as possible, consciously, several times an hour, just think to yourself, release those muscles, release the muscles. You will notice more relaxation coming into your body, okay? So release those muscles, consciously think about that. When a thought comes in, let the thought go across your mind. Let that be. Focus on your self-soothing activities. Focus on the things that you can control. Split your day into 30-minute segments of routine. And if you're really, really struggling, we have several clinical hypnotherapy audios that you can listen to that calm anxiety, that soothe people. Just message my team. We'll send them to you, okay? So those are just my initial thoughts on self-soothing, self-regulation. At the end of the day, a lot of what is happening is pandemic. It's not our fault, right? We're all just doing the best we can to get through the pandemic in a mental health capacity. But it is your responsibility. It's not your fault that you're in the position that you're in, but you do need to take charge of sorting it out moving forward, okay? So I hope that helps, and let me know if you have any other questions and I will make another video. Take care.